Hello everyone, today's tale is called Wife Cheated But I Won. Enjoy your viewing and enjoy your meal. I met my GF senior year of HS in 2022, we bonded well and hit it off a couple months later. 2023 we graduated HS and were going off to university in August. We had too much free time in the summer and she ended up pregnant and we found out early August. Biggest mistake of my life and I can't tell you how scared I was. Due to the pregnancy our family pressured us into getting married, so we did in January of 2024. My second biggest mistake. Anyways, she goes through with the pregnancy and gives birth 9 months later. A couple months later the baby died due to an undetected heart condition. It was hard for us to manage but I thought we pulled through. The fall semester was coming up and I had switched universities. She was doing online courses so we decided to move into a one-bedroom apartment. First time that we had lived together on our own, self-sustained. Within 1 to 2 months of signing the lease, she started cheating. Looking back I should have noticed but I was exhausted from uni, work, and commuting. Her schedule was easier as she just worked full-time and did her classes from our apartment. More free time, 40 hours vs 65 hours weekly, and she still had the audacity to complain about me not cleaning. Signs I noticed and ignored unfortunately. More time online. More isolation. Less physical interaction. Change in view of cheating. But I was 19 and dumb. At least now I know what to look for in the future. She cheated for 5 months in total before she told me. Now here's the part where I win, which may sound counterintuitive. I got hit by a car. Best thing that's happened to me. Now this case is still active so I won't give too much detail. But here's what I will give. Company vehicle that was at fault, severe injury, deep pockets. This injury occurred about 6 months ago and I'm still in point, probably take a year to fully recover but I feel well. I am basically guaranteed to be worth a couple hundred Gs once everything settles. Found this part out in December 2024. Also due to my injury I had to stay at my parents' for 6 weeks as I couldn't go up my apartment stairs. While I'm gone my ex tells me she likes being there alone. Wonderful thing to hear when you were almost killed a couple weeks prior. Yeah, she was cheating. At this point I'm still oblivious but I start planning for the future. While injured I start seeing financial advisors etc., making plans to pay off our debt and whatnot. IDK if this pissed her off or what, because I was trying to take care of our finances. I didn't work due to the severity of my injury. But it created tension for some reason. Even though we were going to be financially free, but oh well. She eventually told me about her cheating in March of 2025 and I immediately filed for divorce and it surprised her. Even though I told her it was a deal breaker in the beginning of our relationship. Made her sleep on the couch until she found a new apartment. Unfortunately I did start working a lot more, which was hard due to me still recovering, but you gotta do what you gotta do. My theory is that she felt bad about the cheating and didn't think she deserved the settlement. I couldn't imagine the guilt, especially after 5 months. But honestly IDK and IDCY. I just know I was able to protect myself. I also found out that her mom was upset that she told me about the cheating because they wanted my ex to get some of the settlement. Shows the learned behavior from filth. It also shows how uneducated they are to think they would get any. It's money for future medical costs and the only way she could get half is if I put the money into a joint account. Besides I made her do an uncontested divorce. And apparently she started sleeping around with a bunch of guys 2 weeks after leaving. Shows she was the problem. While I am going to therapy, taking my time, and I honestly feel a lot better. I haven't gotten myself into a rebound relationship because it's stupid and doesn't work. I also added a new dating rule: don't date anyone that believes they don't need their meds. But yeah, that's my cheating story. I have no hate towards her and I have forgiven her. I wish her the best in life. My biggest advice to anyone dealing with a cheater is to turn your anger, sadness into ambition. I see people like Odie Bean are saying I should have stayed with my ex. Apparently because I look at the positive in life and I don't sulk in the past, that means I am immature. Also, a lot of you assume my win is financial. That's just the cherry on top. Not the main part. I've found peace in myself. Also, shout out to Gerla Walk for saying she would cheat too. Bold of her to assume I would date scum. The following Telly have a question for you op, if you'd be so kind as to oblige. Obviously she came from a real fucking weird sounding family and y'all got married so young. But I noticed you said you don't want to date anyone that says they don't need their meds. Yeah, no. I'm bipolar, have an eating disorder, major depressive disorder and treatment-resistant depression, generalized anxiety disorder, OCD, the whole shebang, so yeah, my meds are taken like clockwork. What were her meds for if you're willing to share? I ask because I'm the cheater. I'm F39, and it's really difficult because my husband and I met at 22 and 25. Lived together for literally the entire time we were dating and got married about 4/5 of a year after we first got together. Undeniable chemistry like I've never experienced with someone. Husband found out I was texting my fucking ex and I have him my phone when he asked. Mind you, my ex lives literally like, over 1,000 miles away and we didn't have plans to hook up, but it's still bad. Real fucking bad and stupid AF. I basically couldn't deal with the fact that my husband's job became so consuming that we literally had zero intimacy for 7 months. He stopped even doing little, boob grabs, and little things like that. Well, in this same span of time my 5 feet 1 inch skinny ass lost like 20 pounds and I was so fucking thin it was alarming even me, she who has the eating disorder. So I started getting this crazy paranoia that he stopped doing these things because of how I looked, when that's not even true. But my thick stupid head failed to accept that and I was looking for some sort of validation, I guess. I have such a wonderful man for a husband that he didn't walk out. He isn't going to leave on a whim, and lo and behold we've been more intimate as of late than we had been in the last 7 months. But he has to take time to process this because it's too difficult to not just fall back into our normal routine because of the chemistry we have. And I respect and get that. I took immediate action to help me change by getting into therapy for my eating disorder and for managing my emotions and poor impulse control. And no matter what happens I will become a better person. Okay, thanks for letting me get that out, lol. But I was curious about the medication thing because if I'm not on my meds it's not pretty and I feel like absolute shit. I'm so proud of you for coming out of this with your head held high and hearing you're recovering from the accident, JFC. You by no means have to answer, I'm just curious. And I cannot believe I married such a perfect man. I'm a fool and an idiot and so selfish for what I did, but we love each other beyond words and reason and always will. Best of luck to you as you move forward onwards and upwards. Thanks for watching, come back again.